Jose, welcome. I'm happy you're able to figure out the technology. I appreciate you making it, making the effort. Everyone, you know who I am. My guest here today is Jose Quintero, the broker manager of Remax Paradise. Now, when I'm talking about boots on the ground, Jose is the manager of the Remax office, the number one Remax office in the Dominican. It is owned by a good friend of mine, Nick, who's actually a Canadian that moved to Dominican many years ago, fell in love with Dominican and a woman in Dominican. He's now married to her, and he lives there. And you know, that's part of the due diligence. I was able to meet someone that I trust, and be able to go and meet with the developers and see the product that's being built and the product that's been completed, that's being leased, that's being resold on the resale market. And that's really what we're going to talk about today, and why we've got this team that I put together here. So Jose, if we could just jump right into it. Sorry, one final thing again, in case you guys didn't hear me, we are going to be recording this, so we're going to be going a little bit longer than expected. So if you can't stick around, no hard feelings. We will send you a recording. Okay, great.
Yes. Dania Well, the girl that just was in the video, she's originally from Ukraine. She moved to Canada a few years ago, to Vancouver. And guess what? She came here just to be a few weeks to know a little bit the Dominican Republic. Nick, my boss, the one you have right now on the screen, Nick Cacavella, originally from Toronto, Italian-Canadian, met her here. We basically started working together, and just 3 weeks ago, she told us she's not coming back to Canada. She's going to stay here with us. So she's helping us a lot by doing a lot of marketing from Punta Cana in Canada. Nick Cacavella, you have them on the screen, and Susati Casillo are the broker owners of Remax Paradise in Punta Cana. Nick is a licensed Remax agent in Toronto. She belongs to Remax Premier in Toronto. She came to the country a few years ago. She met Susati. Initially, he was basically selling properties in the Dominican Republic for his Canadian clients in Canada, until he decided to open his own franchise, Remax franchise, in Punta Cana a few years ago. As Ryan was mentioning, we are the number one office right now in Punta Cana, Bávaro, from Remax. We have sold around $70 million US dollars in the last 2 years. 90% of those sales with Canadian clients through Canadian agents, right? We are growing the team right now here in our local office. I am the broker manager. We have already 21 agents here in the local operations, but we are working with a lot of agents in Canada, and one of the most important partners we have in Canada is Ryan Cohen. Okay, next. What you have right now in front of you are the name of the companies we work with. You need to take in consideration that in Punta Cana, Bávaro right now, we could be working with more than 40, 50 different developers. We decided not to do so. Actually, we have a lot of new possible projects that we could take care of in the next few months. Nick doesn't work like that. We work with very few developers, construction companies, and basically those are the ones that you have right now in front of you. You have Noval Properties, Hesproin, we pronounce Hesproin, but in Canada you guys pronounce Jesproin Group, Bahia, which is a brand new project that we listed just 4 weeks ago, Bonita Beach, and Palview. I heard some people have questions about Cap Cana. Bonita Beach is actually in Cap Cana, and Hesproin and Noval, both of them, they have projects in Cap Cana as well. Okay, next. Well, meet the team. You just met Jonathan. If you look at the screen, he's on my left side. We have in Canada as well, Nishan. He's working with us in Canada, and Kate Giorgio, the blonde girl with a red dress. And on my right side, you have Sara Montero. And Sara Montero is basically an ambassador that we have in the office here, who is basically taking care of the clients. Once the clients decide to fly down here to Punta Cana, we take care of them. We welcome them at the airport. We take them to the hotels. We pick them up the next day, and we don't just show them the projects that we represent. We show them the whole city. Because at the end of the day, this is not about buying an apartment, buying a property in Punta Cana. This is about everybody getting to know what this project is about, what this city is about. I always say the same thing. If I would be buying an apartment in Toronto and I meet a broker in Toronto, obviously I'm not going to ask him only to show me apartments. I'm going to ask me to show me what is Brampton about, what is Vaughan about, what is Hamilton about, what is downtown about. Okay, I would like to know the whole place. So that is what we do, guys. When you guys come down here, we don't show you only Posidonia, Sun Garden, and the rest of the projects. We show you the whole city. We take you to supermarkets for you to see what is a supermarket like in Punta Cana, Bávaro. We take you to hospitals. We take you to schools if you have kids, and you can see how life is in Punta Cana today. Okay, next.
This is truly a white glove service. And this was really important for us at Connect to be able to have these partners with boots on the ground. Like I said, they're going to pick you up at your resort. They're going to pick you up at your Airbnb at the airport, and give you an amazing experience. Many of our clients who have already purchased, never actually seen the properties or done tours, end up going and doing a tour, and some of them leave with buying another unit. So it's very impressive. If you guys are doing vacationing down there or thinking about going, it's definitely a good idea to get a tour and really see what's all.
And I have to tell you something, guys. I went twice to Toronto in the last 5 months. Twice. I have never been into Canada before. And what my first lesson, my first learning when I went to Canada and started doing presentations to brokers and to clients over there, after 3 presentations, I said to Nick, I think we have to change the way we do presentations in Canada, regardless if it's for brokers or for final buyers, because we were talking about ROI, return of investment, how much money you can make in your properties, locations, amenities, CONFOTUR law that you don't pay property taxes in the Dominican Republic for 15 years. But then when we finished the presentations, I used to get basic questions like, do you guys have hospitals in Punta Cana? Do you guys have schools? The same questions my mother used to ask me when I first came from Spain, which is my original country, to Punta Cana 27 years ago. And my answers were like, yes, I am a diabetic. I have a sensor here, and I have multiple sclerosis. I have to do 4 MRIs per year, and I book them 1 day before I go to the hospital, and I pay $120. So I don't have to wait 3 months or 4 months to do an MRI in Punta Cana. So those are the things that we focus. This is not only about you guys buying a property and making sure that you know that you can have 10% ROI, that you can make a lot of money, that you can have an equity of 30% in 2 years. This is not only about that. This is about you guys knowing that if you book a flight, you come down to Punta Cana, you allowed us to take care of you. You allowed us to show you around. You will see that the view, the point of view that you have about the Pana will change completely. And you will understand why this place is called Punta Canada and not Punta Cana anymore. You will understand why we have thousands and thousands of Canadians selling properties in Florida that they bought 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and buying properties now in Punta Cana. Punta Cana is basically replacing Florida for Canadians and a lot of US Americans in the next 2 years. We have a lot of snowbirds who are coming down here from November all the way to April. They enjoy Punta Cana. They enjoy our restaurants, our pharmacies, our hospitals. You don't enjoy hospitals, but they know that if something happens to them, you have 250 doctors that can take care of you.
Yeah,
not like 25 years
ago. I call that an investment in lifestyle. And that was one of the big reasons why I invested in Dominican and Punta Cana specifically was, a lot of these places that you visit, resort type vacations, you assume that you have to stay on the resort. But in Punta Cana, I believe most of Dominican, it's amazing going off and going to the restaurants and hiking and biking and doing all those things, but also the medical care here. And we'll send out in an email some more details about what Canadians have access to through medical. It's phenomenal. Yes. I'll be going there with my family in December or January, and every year because I like to invest in my health and in longevity. I do an MRI here in Canada. That costs me $3,500 every year to do an MRI. And I will now go to Punta Cana and do my first one in December, if not January. And it's going to cost me $150, and I'll do it within 24 hours.
That's correct. And what I was saying before, it was not an example. It is actually the truth. I suffer MS. I suffer multiple sclerosis. I was diagnosed in 2003. And I have to be honest with you, when I was diagnosed with MS, I had to drive 6 hours from Punta Cana to the capital to do an MRI. Right now, I can do an MRI tomorrow. If I go right now, well, right now it's 7 o'clock. But if I go tomorrow at 9 o'clock to a hospital and I tell them I need to do an MRI, I can do the MRI in the afternoon. I have a private insurance where I pay $150 a month. And thanks to that, I will pay only $120, $130 for my MRI. I will get the MRI this afternoon, and I can come the day after to the doctor, and then they check my MRI. So I have to do 4 of them every year just to check if my MS is moving forward or not. So that's how we live right now in Punta Cana. My daughter is going to college in Europe. She did high school in Punta Cana, and she's not facing any kind of issues because she had a bad education because she went to high school in the Dominican Republic, and she's going doing law school. So Punta Cana is not anymore this exotic destination that the hotels used to like to sell to the tourists. Because what happens, guys, is that a lot of tourists, they go to the hotels, and the hotels are responsible for telling them things like, oh, don't go out, it could be dangerous. I'm sorry, this is not true. They just want the tourists to stay in the resort to spend as much money as possible. This is the reality. And just to finish with this point, I go to the beach almost every day. And I realized 6 months ago that I could get some leads on the beach with my dog. And this is what happens. You know, I meet people on the beach, and they have come 5 times, 6 times to Punta Cana, and they get to the airport, they go to the resort, they stay in the resort for 7 days, they go back to the airport, and then they go back home, and they say, oh, I was in Punta Cana. No, you were not. You were in a hotel that could have been easily in Mexico or in Costa Rica. You didn't come to Punta Cana. You went to a resort, and that's it. I compare this if I go to the United States, I stay 5 days in Disney World, or I stay 5 days in Las Vegas, and I say, oh, I know the United States. No, you don't know the United States. You know Disney World. So it's the same thing, okay? Next. What you have in front of you is the amount of tourists that we received in 2024 in the whole country, 11 million tourists. And up to August 2025, we have received 8 million tourists. These numbers are a little bit outdated. We have already the new numbers, and we will be closing 2025 with over almost 13 million tourists. So this is a growth year to year of around 25%. Nobody else in the whole continent, from Canada all the way down to Argentina, is growing that much in amount of tourists every year, okay? Next. Now, why Punta Cana? Now, I have talked already enough about the quality of life, which is very important. Let's talk a little bit about growth, about performance, about real estate investments, and about investors' finance and economy. As I told you already, we are growing every year around 18 to 20% in amount of tourists to the Dominican Republic. We are driving an average hotel occupancy of 85% in the peak season, which is really fine, really good. Our Airbnb occupancy is around 70%. Real estate investment returns, this is really good. Cash on cash returns average 14%. Annualized returns on select units up to 40%. Okay? And condo appreciation in 2024 reached 7%. Now, these numbers, guys, are numbers across the board in Punta Cana, Bávaro. But our projects, for example, when it comes to condo appreciation in 2024, is way above 7%. We are driving around 11% in our projects. And the reason why is the location of our projects, okay? Look at the bottom of this slide, investor financing and economy, foreign direct investment, FDI, $4.5 billion in 2024. That number is really, really spectacular. Okay.
And what is that? What is that money being invested in? Jonathan talked a little bit
Oh,
about.
everywhere. For example, a lot of American hotels are opening hotels here. When I came here, Ryan, 27 years ago, only Spanish hotel companies used to have hotels here, like Barceló, Meliá, Palladium, Bahía Príncipe. For example, Marriott Hotels, Marriott International, they just opened the new St. Regis in Cap Cana. This is a $200 million investment. You go to Cap Cana, you have 5 Hyatt hotels, 1 Relais Chateau, and 1 St. Regis hotel. So just in hotels in Cap Cana, you have $2,000 million, something like that. Okay. So another thing is in the near Santo Domingo, we have a place where we have opened a lot of factories where Apple and Microsoft are assembling computers. We have around 5,000 jobs over there. You have an investment over there over $500 million. On the top of that, we have one of the most important producers in the world of cocoa, coffee, tobacco. Everybody knows about Dominican cigars, Davidoff, Julio, Leon Jimenez, Romeo y Julieta. So the country is booming all over the place. It's not only tourists, it's not only Airbnb, it's not only hotels, it's the whole country. Okay. Next. So let's talk a little bit about CONFOTUR. When we talk about CONFOTUR, normally what people say is, oh, buy a property with CONFOTUR, because if you buy CONFOTUR apartment, you will not have to pay taxes for the next 15 years. In the Dominican Republic, we have 2 property taxes, 2, similar to Canada. How do you call this, Ryan? The land transfer taxes?
Tax, yeah.
Yeah. You pay around 3% in Canada, right?
Yeah, give or take.
Yeah. In the Dominican Republic, you pay 3% as well. So when you become the owner of a property in the Dominican Republic, you pay 3%. You pay that only once. On the top of that, we have property taxes, like in Canada. In the Dominican Republic, we pay 1% per year. So you have 2 property taxes. When you buy a property with CONFOTUR law, which is a law that was created in 2003, owners will not have to pay property taxes for 15 years. So you will not have to pay 3% and you will not have to pay the 1%. Now, having said that, from my point of view, that is not the most important part about CONFOTUR. From my point of view, the best part about CONFOTUR is this. The spirit of CONFOTUR is this. The government approached the developers 20 years ago and told them, hey guys, we need Canadians, Spaniards, Portuguese, Americans, Italian people to invest money in the Dominican Republic. But the quality of the construction is not good enough. So this is what we are going to do. We are going to tell the buyers that they are not going to pay taxes for 15 years, but that is not enough. You need to improve the quality of the construction. If you want the Canadians to buy property with you, you have to provide them with the same quality or better than what they get in Canada. Same for you Italians, same for you Spaniards. So what we will do is this. You will be allowed to import all the materials that you will have to use, that you will use in your construction, and we will not charge you tariffs. You will not charge you tariffs, customs of these products. So basically, if you buy a property with CONFOTUR law, which is what we sell, your apartment which have German, Italian, Spanish, Canadian, American windows, floors, faucets, bathrooms, everything. And if you come down here and I show you an apartment with CONFOTUR law, I promise you, you will not see the difference with an apartment in Canada or in Germany. Same thing, actually better in most of the times. That is CONFOTUR law, and all of our projects have the CONFOTUR assigned, the CONFOTUR approved. Okay, next.
A little weak.
Okay. Now I'm going to start talking about our partners, our construction companies, our developers. Let's start first with Noval. Who is Noval? Well, as you see in front of you in the screen, 20 plus years in proven experience, over 5,000 properties sold in Punta Cana. I know that maybe for Canadian standards, this is not big number because you guys have built hundreds of units in Toronto in the last 30 years. But for Dominican standards, to have delivered 5,000 units in the Punta Cana area, it's a lot. It's around 60% of the whole construction done in Punta Cana in the last 20 years. They have the best locations. All of their projects are in gated communities and close to the beach, high quality manufacturing materials. Why? Because of the CONFOTUR law. Every single project in Noval has a CONFOTUR law. So what you get in Noval apartments is the quality of products that I told you just a few minutes ago, and a strong capital appreciation. Why? Because of the quality of the construction and because of the location. Next. Okay, so what you have in front of you are finished projects from Noval. Noval has delivered already over 24 projects. Some actually, where I am at home right now, and this is a Noval apartment where I am, where I live. Actually, let me see the picture that you have in the lower part with a lake. I am over there right now. No, the other one in the middle. Yes, I am there right now. This is where I live. This is where I am doing the presentation right now. That's in a gated community called Cocotal. I am basically 2 minutes away from the beach in a gated community. Are whoever is in the presentation right now? You guys are in Toronto? All of you guys? Vaughn? Where are you guys?
Yeah, mostly from Canada, mostly from Toronto. There are some Americans that joined us tonight as well.
Okay. When I was in Toronto last time, 2 months ago, Nick brought me to a place in Vaughan called the National, a golf resort with beautiful houses.
Yeah.
So where nice. Where I live is very similar to that.
Right.
Okay. Next. Again, all these are delivered projects from Noval. Next. Same one. The colorful project that you have right now in front of you, it's called Reserva Real. They just delivered this 6 months ago. This is almost like a condo hotel. They have a hotel company taking care of these apartments. The occupancy right now, and I know this because yesterday we did a tour with 45 agents from the capital. They came here to do a tour with us, and some of them they stayed in Reserva Real just for the night, and the occupancy is right now 85%. And we are not in the high season yet because the high season starts the second week of December. Next.
That's a good point. What is the occupancy rate? Because I know that question's come up, and I always hear it. What is the occupancy rate between Airbnbs and hotel managed properties, which most of Noval's properties are?
Yeah, we are moving forward to hotel managed properties, Ryan. Yeah. The reason why, and I will be very honest, is because when you buy an apartment where you have just the Airbnb option, normally I use this word, some people don't like it. You have a civil war in the building right away. So every owner has a property manager, and basically you are competing with your neighbor. Yeah. So you have a 2-bedroom, I have a 2-bedroom, you have a property manager, you live in Canada, I live in the United States. Your property manager says, I'm going to rent my apartment, your apartment for 150. My property manager goes, okay, yours is 140. And then suddenly 130, 120. So basically, Airbnb projects drives you to lower rates sooner or later because you have 100 apartments competing with each other. When you have a hotel management company taking care of the project, like the one that you have right now in front of you, a hotel brand, it could be Wyndham, it could be Hyatt, it could be Marriott, it could be Archipelago, Aston Hotels, Banyan. They make sure that the rates don't drop. They take care of the operations. You have a branded name on the top of the building, right? The occupancy goes up, and especially the rates goes up, okay? Because no matter where the client is staying, it could be a 2-bedroom apartment in the 3rd floor or a 3-bedroom apartment in the 2nd floor, the owners will receive a higher rate and a higher occupancy.
Yeah, and that's why I invest in a hotel managed property, because when I use it for a month or 2 months out of the year, I also get to feel like I'm staying in a 5-star hotel as well. So, you know, and then you've got the marketing budgets of a large hotel chain, you've got the booking system. So it's going to outperform an Airbnb, an individual Airbnb. What are the occupancy rates for hotel managed versus Airbnb?
The hotel management projects have a similar occupancy than regular hotels. We are going between 75 and 85% occupancy, depending on the season. Right now, we are right before the high season. In the high season, Ryan, it's really crazy here in Punta Cana. So from the second week of December all the way to the end of Easter, occupancy here is around 95, 98% and higher rates. It's really crazy what's going on here in Christmas, January, around Carnival season, which is February. Carnival is very, very famous in Punta Cana. And obviously for Easter. So we are driving over there 95, 98% occupancy in hotel managed projects and in hotels. Airbnb projects are normally 20 points, 15 points below that. Okay. And obviously the rates are way lower as well. Okay. Next. Now, let's talk about gated communities. All of our projects, guys, they are in gated communities. When I talk about gated communities, most of the people, the first thought is, oh, of course, you have to be in a gated community because it's dangerous down there. No, it's not true. It is not dangerous. The reason why we always recommend to buy in gated communities is because of this. In gated communities, the community decides who is building, for what price, and what are the amenities. If you buy a property in Punta Cana, Bávaro, outside of a gated community, you will always have the risk that sooner or later you have a car wash or a barber shop or a disco right in front of your apartment. That is why, guys, when you see prices in Punta Cana, Bávaro, you go like, oh, $80,000 apartment, $120,000 apartment. Yes, you can buy that. Now, those apartments are in the middle of nowhere. Okay, nobody can guarantee you that in 6 months somebody's going to open a nightclub in front of your apartment and suddenly the price or the value of your property goes down 20%. All of our projects are in gated communities, and one of the most important one is Cana Bay. A lot of people, they don't know the community under the name Cana Bay because in Cana Bay we have the Hard Rock Hotel, which is a money maker. The Hard Rock Hotel is driving occupancies of 86% per year, average per year. But not only that, the average ADR, the average daily rate is around $450 per person per day. Go right now to booking.com or to TripAdvisor and try to book a room night at the Hard Rock Hotel for Christmas. It's going to be above $600 per person per day. So the Hard Rock Hotel is inside Cana Bay. And around the Hard Rock Hotel, around Cana Bay, you have an amazing golf course designed by Jack Nicklaus. So it's a Jack Nicklaus design golf course. A beautiful beach club, like the one that you see right now. You have 4 pictures below. So in the first picture and the third picture, that is the beach club for owners or for tenants in Cana Bay. You have access to some of the areas at the Hard Rock Hotel, and you have the biggest casino in the Caribbean. So you go inside the Hard Rock Hotel, and basically for the ones who have been in Las Vegas, you believe you are in Las Vegas, but in the heart of the Caribbean. Next. That's a video. Next. Okay. The most important project that we are selling right now in Cana Bay, it's, from my point of view, one of the craziest ideas that a developer had in Punta Cana in the last 20 years. It's called Poseidon. So why buy Aston? As I mentioned a few minutes ago, Aston is a hotel company. It's a hotel brand that belongs to Archipelago. Archipelago is the most important South Asian hotel chain right now. They have several brands all over the continent of Asia, and they are moving right now to the Caribbean. So Aston is one of the premium brands from Archipelago. And Aston is going to take over Posidonia once Posidonia is completely finished, which it is going to happen by December 2028. Now, we have already talked about tax-free for 15 years because of the law CONFOTUR. We have already talked a little bit about hotel management for rentals. But guess what? Posidonia will be completely furnished. So basically, as an owner, you get the keys and you're ready to go in. You're ready to use your property right away, right? So the craziest part about Posidonia is the pictures that you see on the right side. If I would tell you that we're going to build something like that somewhere in the world, I think Punta Cana would be one of the last choices, okay? Because what you have in front of you is a Greek Roman temple in the middle of the Caribbean with the largest pool in the Caribbean by far. The pool that you see in one of the small pictures below, the picture on the left, that pool is gonna be 3/4 of a mile long, 946 meters, one pool across the whole project. Okay, next. Location of Posidonia and Cana Bay. So if you see the red point over there, that is the location of Posidonia. Posidonia is at the entrance of Cana Bay. Cana Bay is all that area that you see there. You see the Hard Rock Hotel, Posidonia Residence Noval, and Cana Bay Beach Club and Resort. This place is 18 to 20 minutes from the airport in a highway. So the yellow line that you see there, that is the boulevard, the highway that takes you almost non-stop, direct to the airport in 18 minutes. Next. There you have the location. The entrance is right there below. The Hard Rock Guitar is right there, correct? That is the entrance. Thank you so much. Posidonia would be the first building once you access to Cana Bay on the left. Yes, that would be Posidonia. Obviously, this is a render because we are right now under construction. It will be delivered in 2028. But all these numbers that you see in the upper side of the picture, number 2, the Hard Rock Hotel, number 3, sports areas, number 4, apartments, all that is the beach. You drive from in 3 minutes, but obviously in Posidonia, we will have the shuttles to take everybody down to the beach. In 3 minutes, you are at the beach club that I was talking about before. And the golf course that you see there in the picture is the golf course that I was mentioning before, is the Jack Nicklaus golf course. Next. So here you go, you have the amenities that you have at the lobby. You have the gym, the terrace, the pool bar, the restaurants, several restaurants and the lobby. That is going to look like the Greek Roman temple that you saw a few minutes ago. Next. And this is how Posidonia would look like. You see, it looks like a snake. So when you see A and O, this is the initial part. This is the lobby and the first apartments. It says phase 1, which is already sold out, completely sold out. It was sold in 2 months, around 150 apartments. We are selling right now B and C. Right, this is what we're selling right now. The whole project will have 1,300 apartments. We have already sold over 300. We are selling 4 or 5 apartments per day. So phase 2 is right now for sale. And all this line that you see in the middle, that is the pool that, as I told you, is going to be 946 meters long. That is the pool all the way from the beginning, from the lobby, all the way to H. All the way to H. That is one pool, 946 meters long. So what you see in front of you is the lobby, the restaurant, and the bar. Next. That will be the lobby. Look at that. This is how one of the pools is going to look like. And now we're moving to the next place, which is River Island by Noval Properties. River Island is already under construction as well. Delivery, same. December 2028, but the construction is way advanced. They are already in the 4th floor. Same thing, CONFOTUR law already approved, hotel management for rentals already assigned, and completely furnished, fully furnished as well. Next. The location of River Island is where you see the wreck exactly. So from River Island all the way down to the beach, you drive 4 minutes. And the same thing, down by the beach, you have the beach club from Noval. So if you buy in River Island, you will have plenty of amenities inside River Island, 16 pools with cascades and so on. But if you want to go down to the beach, we take you down to the beach with a shuttle, and the beach is only 4 minutes away. And at the beach, we have a beach club for owners of Noval. Okay, next. Look at this. Look at these projects. You have 2 projects in one. On one side, you have Atlantida, which is the one that you have on the right side. And on the left side, you have River Island, which is where we have right now several units available, starting in $200,000, studios all the way up to $400,000. And as I mentioned to you, you leave the project and you drive down to the beach in around 4 minutes. Next. There you have the different amenities. And as I mentioned to you, you have 16 interconnected pools, barbecue areas, a lot of garden green areas. You have a theater for music shows. You have supermarkets. You have gyms, sorry, and several gyms as well around the whole project. Next. This is the beach club I was talking about. The name of the beach club is called Cielo. Cielo means heaven in Spanish, cielo. So that beach club is oceanfront, as you can see. Look at that. What you see right now in front of you is the pool of the beach club, but the picture is taken from the 3rd floor where you have another pool. So you have 2 pools in that beach club, and the beach club is right on the beach. And as you can see, the beach is very, very, very ugly. Okay, next. Next. You can skip the video. Yeah. This is how the apartments will look like, 100% furnished with hotel management operation in River Island. As I mentioned to you, all you see in front of you is European. All you see in front of you is European. The floors, the kitchens, the appliances, the doors, everything. Next. Next. How does the model work? Well, you have the developer, which is in this case Noval. You have the hotel brand and you have the owner. So basically, the hotel brand is going to manage the whole operation in your apartment. You decide when you use your apartment. Some people, when we talk about this, some people tell us, oh, but is this a timeshare? No, it is not. In a timeshare, basically, you are buying a program for you to go to several places cheaper than if you buy regular vacation. That's it. You are buying, I'm sorry to say it like this, you're buying smoke. You are not a property owner. In this case, you are the owner of your apartment. You don't want to give it to the hotel brand. You can live there. You can live there. You can use it for your retirement. It's your apartment. While you don't live it, you can give it to the hotel brand and they manage it for you. And the reason why is because of what I mentioned to you a few minutes ago, avoiding civil warring rates inside the same building. Next.
And what are the management fees?
Depending on the hotel brand, but they go from 25 to 30%. So you keep 70% to 75% and 25% goes to the hotel.
And what does that cover exactly?
Oh, that covers the whole operation. That covers marketing. Most of these, for example, let's say you have buy an apartment with Marriott brand, okay? Marriott has 210 million users in their Bomboy program, right? Which is the largest hotel program in the world. Same thing with Wyndham, same thing with Banyan. So they take care of the marketing, take care of the reservation channels, they take care of the operation, they welcome the clients, check in, check out. And they are responsible for if something breaks in the apartment, they take care of the cleaning, everything, everything. You just need to tell them when are you going to come down to use your property, and the rest of the time you are making money. That's all. Okay. Next. Okay. The greatest benefit for the buyer is security. So what Noval provides you is capital appreciation profitability. Some of the projects, guys, that I showed you a few minutes ago, remember the projects that were completely delivered, and I don't. There's no way I can lie to you because it is very easy for you to check this. For example, in Ocean Bay, I was yesterday in Ocean Bay. Some of these apartments, the 3-bedroom apartments, oceanfront, they were bought in 2021 for $750,000, $800,000, and we are selling units right now for 1.3, 1.4. It's almost double. It's really crazy, depending on the location. So in some of these projects, we have witnessed an appreciation of around 20%, 30% in 2 years. So it's around 10, 15% per year, depending on the location, okay? Management according to hotel standards, we already talked about that. Global reservation channels. Ryan, there you have the question that you asked just 1 minute ago, okay? The benefits and guaranteed quality and service. Okay, next. Next. It's your turn, my friend.
Well, while we were waiting, I already went all over all of that, but you're covering why I invested there. And someone's asking questions, a lot of questions about the hotel management. For me, that was probably the icing on the cake, because I do plan on using it. When I do use it, I want it to be a great experience. But when I'm not using it, I do not want the headaches of having to worry about managing a property overseas, especially. So, the hotel management component for me is a no-brainer. Most of the projects come fully furnished, and when I'm not using it, I'm going to be earning income. In terms of like the cleaning fees and stuff like that, is that all covered within the management fee, Jose?
Yes, they are. The only thing that might not be covered is the electricity cost. Okay, so if I send you an ROI projection, you will see the cost will be the management fees. That's basically is everything included, the cleaning and all that, and then you will have, so the fees, you pay that, and you have electricity on the top of that. If you want to talk about electricity, I am right now in a 3-bedroom apartment where I live. I am a single father. I live with my kids and with Lola, who is my dog. We turn on our air conditioning 4 hours per night. So we turn on air conditioning at 8 o'clock until midnight. We put a timer. We turn on 3 air conditioning. We have an electric stove that we use every day because I cook every day at home, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I pay around $140, $150 a month in electricity. And I do live here as a family. So that is what you can expect from the electricity cost if you buy a property here.
Great. And the property taxes, someone asked the question, that there's no property taxes. That's another reason why I specifically like Dominican. There's CONFOTUR, so that includes the tax incentive where you're not paying any land transfer tax when you buy the property, but you're also not paying any property taxes for 15 years, which is transferable with the property. So if you sell it, you're an investor and you're flipping it, or you want to sell it in a few years, you can pass that on to the purchaser as well.
Well, okay, there are property taxes everywhere in the Dominican Republic, but not in only 8% of the projects. So only 8% of the projects have CONFOTUR law. And let me take, please, the opportunity, Ryan, to talk about this, okay? Just in case some people is in this presentation, but they might be looking somewhere else. We got to be careful with this. A lot of people is saying, my apartment has CONFOTUR. My apartment has CONFOTUR. If somebody tells you that, the next question should be, show it to me. Show it to me. Because this is the way CONFOTUR works. I am a developer. I say, I would like to have CONFOTUR in my projects. Okay. So what I do is that I send the projects, the renders and everything to the Minister of Tourism. And sometimes it takes them a year to approve that. So while they are approving it, a lot of developers said, oh, I will have CONFOTUR. Well, you will, but you don't have it yet. No, but I will. Well, surprise, some people has been asking for CONFOTUR and they are not approved. Because in order for you to have CONFOTUR, you have to have a golf course around. You have to be close to the beach. You have to provide hotel services. You have to provide such shuttle to the beach. You have to make sure that you have the best quality in your projects. Okay, so basically only
That's an
10%.
important point. That's an important
Yes, it
point that
is.
really stuck with me, is because like for a development to be approved for CONFOTUR, they have to be able to import enough
Yes.
product that they'll qualify for it. So that's where Jose keeps mentioning the European finishes and stuff like that. Quality
So
finishes.
and the approval of CONFOTUR has two stages. The first stage normally comes 6 months after the project was submitted, which is where the government tells the developer, yes, from now on, you're allowed to import materials from wherever you want. And the second one is the final approval. So if somebody tells you, I have CONFOTUR, you tell them right away, show it to me. And they will have to show you in a document approval. If they cannot, they are lying to you. As simple as that. I'm brutally honest with this. Now, any questions so far, Ryan, before we move forward?
I'm answering some in the chat, so just keep going. Let's go.
Okay, so the next area we are going to move forward is Coral Golf Resort. Coral Golf Resort used to be Catalonia's golf course for around 15 years. So around 2 years ago, we have been talking about Noval for the last half an hour. For the next 20 minutes, we are going to be talking about Hesproin. Just to give you an idea, Hesproin and Noval is Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola. Is Apple, Microsoft. Is McDonald's, Wendy's. Well, it would be in Canada, Tim Hortons and Starbucks, something like that. So these are the two most important construction companies, developers in Punta Cana, Bávaro. And we represent both of them in Canada. Okay, so we have already talked about Noval. We are going to talk about Hesproin for the next few minutes. Hesproin bought the whole golf course from Catalonia Resort 2 years ago. And right now, they are rebuilding the whole golf course with a guy called PB Dye. P as Pennsylvania, B as Baltimore, Dye as the DYE. Who is this guy? For the ones who don't know him, you can write his name in Google and you will see that PB Dye and his father have developed 200 golf courses around the world in the last 40 years. So if you're golf players, you should know that if you play in a golf course, you are playing in a very, very high-end golf course. And normally you pay above $250, $300 to play in a golf course like this. So these guys are in charge right now. If you fly down here, the golf course that used to be there for 15 years is completely destroyed, and they are redoing the golf course as per their standards. At the same time, we are building a resort in terms of amenities around the new golf course. For example, you see a lake there in front of you. The lake is around 500,000 square feet. And around the lake, we are already building several amenities, like man-made beach around the lake, where people is going to be able to swim. A pier where people will be able to rent non-motorized water sports like paddle boarding or kayak, okay? Paddle club, paddle tennis and pickleball, sports areas, 10 kilometers for people to walk and to use a bicycle around the whole place. Wellness center, commercial area, new clubhouse, all this is already under construction. At the same time, they are building all these amenities and all this golf course. We are already building some of the projects inside Coral Golf Resort. And I'm going to talk to you about this in the next few minutes. The beach is only 4 minutes away. Look at that. Well, that is the video. Next, please. Next. Next. Okay. The beach is only 4 minutes away. We will have the shuttles to take people down to the beach, the same thing as I told you in Cana Bay. And Hesproin is a company that has delivered 11 projects in 8 years. Think about this. Remember, we had a pandemic from 2020 to 2022. So these guys started construction in 2017. From 2017 to 2025, 8 years, they have delivered 11 projects. Already delivered, guys. And so not even during the pandemic, not even during COVID, they stopped working, okay? They have delivered 11 projects. They have a strategic allies, prime locations, similar to that one, the ones we have in Noval, okay? And as we show you in Noval, same thing with Esproin. Some of these projects I have been talking to you, you have them right now in front of you. You have their Marina Garden, you have Gold Garden, you have Gardenia. All of the Esproin projects, they have the word garden in the name. Beach Garden, Golf Garden, Marina Garden, Crystal Garden, Wave Garden, Secret Garden, all of them are these names, okay? Next. We keep showing you some of the projects. And now let's talk about Sun Garden. Sun Garden is a project that will be done inside Coral Golf, inside that whole master plan that I was talking to you about 2 minutes ago. Same thing as the previous projects. Tax-free, 15 years. In this case, you will not have a hotel management company, but you have a company that will take care of the whole project and amazing lake views. And look at the price, guys. Starting in 158,000 US dollars, one bedroom apartments. Delivery will be June 2028. Oh, by the way, something I forgot to mention when we were talking about Noval, the payment plan. If you buy a property in Posidonia, in River Island, or in these projects, the payment plan goes like this. You pay 20% of the total amount within the first 3 weeks. So you block a unit today, you pay $5,000 to take the unit out of the market. Okay? In around 3-4 weeks, you pay 20% at the same time that you sign the promise of sales. And then all the way from the moment you sign the promise of sales to the moment that the apartment is delivered, you pay 40% of the price in monthly payments or every 3 months. However you decide. You decide how you want to do your payments during construction. By the moment you get your apartment, you still have to pay 40%. If you don't want to pay that cash, you can go to a local bank, and local banks will give you up to 60% of the price of the apartment in that specific moment. So this goes like this. Imagine you buy an apartment, $158,000 today in November 2025. The apartment will be delivered in June 2028. This apartment that you're buying today for 158 US will be in June 2028 around $200,000 easily. So when you go to the bank, local bank in 2028, you say, hey, I need 40% of $158,000. Why? Because I already paid 60%. Show that to me. Here you go. I signed this promise of sales in 2025. I paid 20% and I have been paying monthly payments all the way until 2028. So the bank is gonna send an appraisal to the property, and they will realize that the apartment is now $200,000. So basically the risk from the bank point of view goes down because they are going to give you 40% of 158, but the price of the apartment is right now is $200,000. Okay? So let's keep talking about Sun Garden. Next. This is the master plan I was talking to you about. Okay, you can see the beach down there. Sun Garden is right there around the lake. So you wake up in the morning and you have the lake in front of you. But not only that, below you, you will have a lazy river. So it's a resort pool, huge pool. Above you, in the 5th floor, you will have a rooftop pool with a gym and with the bar. In front of you, you have the lake with a man-made beach. And if that is not enough for you, you can go down take the shuttle that they will take you down to Cabeza de Toro Beach, which is only 4 minutes away. Next. Look at that. Look at this view, guys. This is the view I was talking to you about. Next. These are the amenities just for Sun Garden. This doesn't include the amenities that you will have in Coral Golf Resort in the whole project. This is just for Sun Garden. Next. Next. So Palm View is the other project that we are starting right now inside Coral Golf. The big difference with this project is that they are fully furnished. Delivery 2027, same thing. Property management company, 5 minutes away from Pearl Beach Club. At the beach, we have a beach club, which is already open, where owners of Palm View or Sun Garden will be able to go down there, and the apartments are completely furnished. Next. That is the location of Palm View, right next to the new clubhouse. Next. Look at that. That is how Palm View is going to look like. It's going to look like once it's finished. Next. This is the pool. And this is how the apartments are going to be delivered. Remember, I just told you that the apartments are completely furnished. And amenities just for Palm View. Next. This is the beach club that is only 4 minutes away from Coral Golf. Again, this beach, that is not a render, guys, what you have in front of you. That is the actual picture of Pearl Beach Club. I go there every 2 Sundays with my family, and I spend there the whole day. Look at the pool, look at the beach, and so on. Next. 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 Okay, there you go. Next. Now we're moving, guys, to when I do this presentation in Toronto, normally I tell everybody, okay, we have already talked about Vaughan, we have already talked about Kleinburg, we have already talked about Woodbridge. Now let's talk about Forest Hill. So we are moving to Forest Hill right now. Imagine you are in Toronto, we are moving to Forest Hill. Forest Hill is Cap Cana. I believe, Ryan, at the beginning of the presentation, somebody was asking about Cap Cana. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So again, if I would be in Toronto right now and I would talk about Cap Cana, I would be talking about Forest Hill. I would be talking about Yorkville. Okay. Next. Okay, what is Cap Cana? Before we go into Bonita Beach. Cap Cana is a property that was bought by the Hasuri family around 23 years ago. Just to give you an idea, guys, Cap Cana is the size of twice the island of Manhattan. It's 122 million square meters. So it's a destination by itself. If you drive inside Cap Cana, you would never believe you are in the Dominican Republic. I have shown Cap Cana to people who has properties in Dubai, in Kuala Lumpur, in Las Vegas, in Saint-Tropez, in Monte Carlo, and they say, oh my God, I could never imagine this could be a place in the Caribbean, okay? We have 2 water parks already inside Cap Cana. We have a marina. The word marina, Ryan, is that okay?
Yeah.
A port, a marina. We have a marina where they have invested 1.6 billion with billion US dollars. The golf course of Cap Cana, Punta Cana golf course, people pay 50,000 US dollars just to become a member. On the top of that, they pay $5,000 a year. We are building the second golf course right now, which is going to be around the projects that I will show you now in the next 5 minutes. We have hotels there like Hyatt Ziva, Hyatt Zilara. Please be my guest. Go to TripAdvisor or to booking.com and try to book one night for Christmas in the Hyatt Hotel in Cap Cana. It will not allow you to do so because the minimum stay for Christmas is 10 nights, average rate $1,000 US per person per night. So if you want to spend vacations for Christmas in Cap Cana, you will have to spend 20,000 US dollars, period. Or you would have to go to the St. Regis Hotel where a room is $3,000 a night. That is what Cap Cana is about. So I like to say that Cap Cana is basically the Rolls Royce, the Lamborghini, the Ferrari in the Caribbean right now. Now, inside Cap Cana, you have several projects, but the most important project that we are selling right now in Cap Cana is Bonita Beach. What is Bonita Beach? Well, what you have in front of you guys is a man-made beach that is going to be finished in, actually it's not March 2029 anymore, it's December 2028. That is saltwater man-made beach with sand around. 15,000 square meters, which is around 190,000 square feet. That is the size of the man-made beach. The only building in Las Iguanas with 8 floors and a rooftop pool in the 9th floor that overlooks the whole Cap Cana area. CONFOTUR law, hotel management for rentals, they are very close to close a deal with Marriott hotels. Only 5 minutes from the world famous Juanillo Beach, and obviously units with guaranteed ocean view. Why guaranteed? Because the building that you have over there in front of you is on the top um, of a cliff, basically, of a small mountain. So the 8th floor in Bonita Beach is equivalent to a 12th floor in a building down by the ocean. So when you buy an apartment in the 6th floor, 7th floor, and 8th floor in Bonita Beach, you have guaranteed ocean view for the rest of your life because in front of the building you have the golf course. Next. Now, who is building Bonita Beach? Well, Bonita Beach is going to be built by Synercom, TLDI, and GVA. Who are these people? Well, you have them in front of you, but let me explain you a little bit. Synercom basically was the construction company that built Cap Cana. So this marina with $1.6 billion, all these hotels I was talking about were built by Synercom. Not only that, they built as well the highway, part of the highway that connects Punta Cana with the capital. They have built hospitals in the capital as well, and they are in charge of building Bonita Beach. Synercom is owned by Abraham Hasuri, who is one of the owners of Cap Cana. And the developer of Bonita Beach is Familia Carrascosa. Who is Familia Carrascosa? They are the owners of Legalitas, Litas. Legalitas is the biggest lawyers company in Spain that was sold for 300 million euros around 8 years ago. These are the developers of Bonita Beach, right? Next. As I mentioned to you, Synercom has developed all these projects, and this is how Bonita Beach is going to look like. There you have the location. So on the left side, you have Bonita Beach. There you cannot see that, but Bonita Beach, as I mentioned to you, is like on the top of a small cliff, right? And you overlook the ocean. The whole building overlooks the ocean, but guaranteed ocean view is above the 6th floor. Next. Look at the rooftop pool I was talking to you about, and this is the master plan. Okay. In Bonita Beach, we will have, go back, please. In Bonita Beach, you will have all these amenities. You have the man-made beach. In the middle of the beach, number 13 is a beach club and the restaurant. You have the golf course around you, wellness center, the rooftop, paddle courts, the main lobby, private artificial beach. So it's basically a resort, guys. Next. That is how the lobby is going to look like. And in Cap Cana as well, we have Crystal Garden. Crystal Garden belongs to Jesproin company, the company I was talking to you about a few minutes ago in Coral Golf. They are building as well Crystal Garden. Crystal Garden is the closest project to Juanillo Beach. So you can walk down to the beach in around 5 minutes. Hotel style amenities, CONFOTUR law as well. Now, coming soon in Noval, Novale's coming with a tower around 16 floors in Cap Cana as well. The project is not launched yet. They will be launching that in February. Now, fly and buy. What is fly and buy? We encourage you guys to book a flight, come down here, visit us. We take care of you, as I mentioned to you at the beginning of the presentation. You book the flight, you book the Airbnb, we can help you out with that. You book the hotel, you stay here for 3 nights. You allowed us to show you around. If you like the place, which I'm sure you will, and if you like the projects, you book a unit, and the hotel, the construction companies, they cover up to $2,000 in your trip. So I would say 60% of the units that we have sold in the last 24 months, people came down here, they allowed us to show them around, and the flight and the the accommodations were for free. Okay, next. Thank you so much. I apologize again for being late. We have some technical issues. I was 15 minutes late, but I hope I have helped you out a little bit with the presentation, how to buy properties in Punta Cana and with Remax Paradise down here.
Jose, thank you, my friend. That was very informative, as always. Appreciate it. We've got a QR code, so if anyone's interested in scheduling a Zoom, a one-on-one, Jose, someone from my team or someone from his team can walk you guys through all of the different units, the floor plans, the views, the availability, and answer any more detailed questions. We got a lot of questions during the presentation, but I think we've answered all of them. Thank you, team, for being available to answer questions in the comments. And Jose, thanks again, my friend.
Thank you, my friend. Have a great night, guys, and hope to see you soon here in
December or January soon.
Not only you. I'm talking about everybody else. I know you are coming.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks
bye, guys.
Appreciate it.
Bye.